in the bottom. So much better.
And move on to this next segment. Big Banks' sneaky link. What's up with it, Banks? Sneak on in here and link us up with some of the good productions on the field from the niggas that nobody would thought would ever show up. And I think this nigga over here down here to my motherfucking bottom right dominating the motherfucking list. But we're gonna see what you got for it.
Yeah, appreciate that intro, Face. Yeah, we're gonna get on to it, man. It's Big Bang Sneaky Links. Now this week, I mean, this is kind of an astonishing week for us this week because we got two players on the same NFL team on the list, and we got three players from one team in our league on the list that helped lead one team to over 200 points this week. Y'all know who it is. But let's get to it. Coming in at number 5, his best outing this season coming into the week was 9.2, which was way back in week 1. He finally broke out his tapping shoes for 5 receptions for 45 yards and 2 scores for 21.5. Gabe Sammy Davis. Coming in at number 4, this rookie has shown signs of about to break out and have a big game this week, but he just hadn't had a big game up until this date. He had 14 carries with 81 yards. He had a score. He had 2 receptions with 24 yards, tallying 21.6. Nuck if you Bucky Irvin. Coming in at number 3. The word around the league is that this guy should get more touches. Well, he proved them right this week. He had 18 carries for 105 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 1 reception for 3 yards to bring home a 23.5. Tyler Algier. I remember I used to want that nigga too.
I traded him.
Yeah,
fucking Tucker.
In at number 2. He got a little shine last week with a 17.7, but this list has never had a player under 20 points. So he wanted to make the list this week, so he made the list. He had 17 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. He had 6 receptions for 56 yards, and for a double quarter, he had a 25.25. Tyrone Tracy Jr. Coming in number 1. Before this week, this guy's biggest game to date was a 2.85. I repeat, his biggest game to date was a 2.85. Well, he just turned in one of the top performances this season with 14 totes on the ground for 136 yards and a touchdown. And he also had 3 receptions for 56 yards and another score to bring in 37.3. And I call him, his name is Mr. Sean Tucker. Now, that's your Bank Sneaky Links of the week. That's a badass list. And I got to give a shout out again to a person that had 3 people on the list. That's Mr. Mac Twin, y'all.
Hey.
Now, to the segment that everybody want to know about and who I'm putting on the list, who I'm not putting on the list, what color skin I'm putting on the list. You know, I'm gonna say this. You know, our beauty, you know, it comes from all over the world. But guess what, y'all? We coming back home this week. You know, we coming back home this week. This week, our beauty of the week is USC Trojan guard, sophomore, Juju Watkins. Yeah, she's a beauty, man. She's a beauty.
Hey, man, you know what? And I like how Face put that shit on last week when he put, oh, girl that you said he put on. Hey, man, I was like, well, that nigga Face retarded. No, for real, though. That shit was solid. That was some solid shit.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And let me tell y'all this. Juju is going to be one of the greatest WNBA players to ever play the game when it's all said and done. And she's a beauty of the week. Yeah, we're going to kick it back to Face, man.
Well, I will say this right here. I had got some DMs and some messages and some tweets and texts and shit, and they was asking, would any color get back on the beauty of the week? Because it had fair complexion. Now if it ain't white, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, that shit, Jack.
But she working. Now y'all know I'm the
face,
voice.
that nigga Face be putting this shit together. Them kids of mine, I need to be putting this shit together, P.
Man, he sent it to me. I'm gonna put it up.
He be putting this shit together,
if you
dog.
send it to me, I'm gonna put it up. But check her out. Y'all check her out. Y'all see her on the screen. You know what I mean? So check her out. But this is what I will say, because I'm the voice of reason, the voice of the people. I speak for the guy in the back that nobody pays attention to or sees on this list. I got somebody. I'm just saying. He had a 20.9. His stats this week. Let me get to him. He only had 3 catches, 4 targets, 3 catches for 49 yards. Boy, did he have a big 2-touchdown game. He had a spectacular touchdown. I know a lot of y'all seen it. If y'all don't see it, go back and check it out. But I'm talking about Romeo, the lover boy, Romeo Dobbs.
Hey man, did you see the touchdowns though?
That's what I'm talking about. With a 20.9, man, I think you could find space for him on the list as a little sneaky link.
I mean, I think the lowest on the list, if I'm not mistaken, was like a 21.5, maybe.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. Although you would have won without his 20 points, his 20 points probably broke the wheel of the team you were going against. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely helped you secure that victory. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just throwing it out there.
But he did, and I think you were saying that there was a trade alert today, and he's now on your team.
You get one more, brother.
I think that you're gonna rally your team, a guy on your team any day of the week.
Oh, I was just speaking about last week. I wasn't bringing him up because of who he plays for now. I was just speaking of what he did on the field last week.
I'm gonna say this: it's a lot of other people that you could have actually picked that had right there just as good a day as Romeo Dobbs, but you picked him in particular because he's now on your team. And I think
if you look at it, it ain't really that many people that you just say, "Oh, I didn't think he would do anything." You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm saying I could have went with Douglas off the top of my head because I remember him in particular.
How much did Douglas score? 21.2,
I think. If I was the top.
Oh yeah, Douglas. I hadn't forgot about him. Yeah, Douglas.
No, I'm just saying it's other people too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm studying this when I'm putting this list out. So it's other people I'm saying I could have put on there too. But like I say, nobody.
Who else could you put on there? I don't see nobody else. Douglas 20. Who else?
I'm saying if push come to shove, if I wanted to, I could have put Lazard on there. He had a 24.
And Lazard ain't just sneaky.
That's why I didn't put him on there. But somebody might still say he a
little bit more solid. I say Lazard more of a solid.
That's why I say.
Because he's like the number 1, number 2 target.
Right.
He is number 3 for sure.
I wouldn't say number 3, dog. I wouldn't say number 3.
Well, he's behind Adams and Wilson.
No, he talking about as of last week. You still going forward. We just speaking. We just speaking of where he was at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Nah, he wasn't talking. He wasn't speaking going. He was just speaking up to that point. See, this was the rewind, so we was still in the past. You know what I'm saying? We in last week when we talked about that segment.
But I'm agreeing with it. Because I think Wilson is gonna be the number 3, and I think Lazard is the number 2.
See, you still speaking in the free. Well, I'm cut that segment. We gonna move on, man. We go. You speaking in hyperbole? Listen, here, man. Focus on over there where that 2 and 4 at, and get that. Just worry about that over there. Worry about that over there. Telling me about who is who and what over here, man. Listen, man. It's okay.
2 and 4.
Just focus on over there, man. Don't worry about what Wilson and Adams. Look here, man. Don't worry about that. That's gonna be all right. Like I told you, I'm gonna get all the scoops of ice cream. I'm gonna leave a little bit over here for the other niggas, and I'm gonna take all the rest of the scoops. So whatever they put together is what I got on the table. So
okay.
That's with that. But we can touch on that a little bit later. We definitely get in there, especially when we go into this week's matchups in Game 7, Week 7 matchup. But let's wonderful segment, Banks. Beautiful segment. I always have a beautiful beauty, and you know what I mean. I like the list. Let's move on to
Top is so much better than the bottom.